Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and welcome to another edition of Forgotten Fridays. Now, today I'm going to be taking a look at The Power. Now, The Power is a 1984 film which runs approximately 84 minutes and is written and directed by Stephen Carpenter and Jeffrey Obro. Now, they are responsible for The Dorm That Dripped Blood, also known as Pranks, also known as Death Dorm, and probably a few more, which is actually a slasher that I really liked. They're also responsible for a movie that is supposed to be released on Synapse, I think, called The Kindred, and I cannot wait for that because it is one of my very favorite creature feature films. I actually went to see it in the theaters when I was younger, when it first came out, and used to own the VHS before I sold it like a moron. But anyway, The Power and I have a long past. I was speaking with my friend Joe the Horror Man the other day, and also Jack from the channel Jay Super Awesome, about this film. This is a film I've been wanting to see for years and years and years. It was one that I always had in my hand to rent when I was younger. And don't get me wrong, I mean, the cover is really cool for this, but I would always find something with a cooler cover or a more disturbing cover to rent. So I actually can't tell you how many times I had this one in my hand and just never rented it back in the old VHS days. But it's been one I've been wanting to see for a while. It's been on my list. And finally, I deal with Hamilton Book. I know you've heard that mentioned before from me, not only from me, but from Nick the Last Shoegazer. And they had a sale. This was $4. Now, this is a Code Red / Scorpion releasing DVD. So when I saw they had it there for $4, I couldn't pass it up. And I got it. Pulled the trigger, finally. I watched it for the first time the other day. And, here are my thoughts. Oh, and by the way, this is released on Code Red and Scorpion Releasing on Blu-ray. I would always see it. Never really pulled the trigger because it was like for between $16 and $20 on Ronin Flicks. It is now out of print, so I'm really happy I got this copy. And if this is something that you guys have always wanted to see, like myself, definitely check out Hamilton Book because they have it on sale for $4, and that's probably the only place you're going to be able to get it. So, other than eBay and probably spending a fortune. But anyway, The Power stars Susie Stokely as Sandy. Now, she was in Deep Space, which I actually have seen. I don't really remember it, but I have seen it. And The Tomb from 1984. Now, I believe the story was written by the same person that wrote To Keep, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken on that one. Let's see. We also have Warren Lincoln as Jerry, who's basically your main character. He was in a movie called Torment, which I really want to see, from the 80s. And Lisa Erickson as Julie. The only thing I could find on her was a movie called Glitch. Now, this is going to be a brief synopsis. There is a comment on the back of this DVD that I think is kind of quite fitting, sort of. I'll read it to you. Part demonic possession movie, part teen slasher, with just a taste of Evil Dead thrown in. I can definitely see where they got this, because this is kind of like It's kind of like a movie like The Witchery, everything in the kitchen sink thrown in. Um, yeah, a little bit of everything is thrown into this one. Now, a brief synopsis. This is about a Aztec idol that apparently unleashes all this power. In the beginning, you have a professor who is giving a lecture to a class of college kids. He is approached by another man who wants to buy it from him. He said money is no object. And he is turned down, and it seems like the guy who is selling it makes something happen to him with his mind. That guy ends up dying because of the power in the idol. So the guy who is trying to buy it ends up tracking it down after that to a place, and I'm trying to remember where it is. India, maybe? In the desert. He wants to buy it again, and they will not sell it to him. So he shoots the old man and the boy that are in the tent and takes it, and something bad happens to him from the idol. Fast forward a few years later, a group of kids go into a basement with a Ouija board where they have to bring something that is supposed to bring them luck. There's a girl and two guys, and one of the boys ends up bringing the idol. It resurfaces rather. He kind of explains that it was brought back to him by a family member when they were traveling overseas. And basically, it's kind of like a mystery of what the idol is, why these accidents keep happening to people who own the idol. And I'm going to kind of leave it there. There's a lot more to this film, believe me. They throw a lot of stuff into this film. But it's kind of like a mystery, supernatural, part slasher. So, I mean, they kind of had it right on the back with the comment. Now, what did I think of this film? When I first got done watching it, I was kind of like, it was okay. The more I sat down and thought about it, the more I actually liked it, which usually doesn't happen with me in films. It's almost like I had to replay the film in my mind in order for it to make more sense, and in order for me to appreciate it just a tad bit more. But, yeah, that's about all I can say on this one. I think if I was giving it a rating, it would probably be like a 6.5 or a 7. I'm not really sure who to recommend this to. I mean, if you're a horror fan and you like things that are a little bit more obscure, then you might like this one. It does have some decent gore in it. It has some decent makeup effects. It is kind of all over the place, though. I'm just, kind of forewarning you. I did like it. I probably will be revisiting it sometime in my future, I'm sure. And I'm kind of glad I have it in my collection. Yeah. So, this is one that I very seldom ever hear anyone talk about, and I kind of get it. I mean, I kind of do. It's not really a standout in the 80s as far as like horror in general. I mean, I know 80s were pretty much mostly popular for the slashers, but it's not really a standout, but it does have entertainment. There's entertainment to be had in this. Have you seen The Power? What did you think? Definitely comment below and let me know. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.